Hi. Something happened to me recently. I was putting a dog away during a storm, and it was a new dog to our house that had been rescued, and it attacked me, and it was a vicious attack. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use my fingers again, so it's a fairly tragic occurrence for me. I'm a little bit in denial about all that right now. But I also feel really positive. I can feel my fingers, I can move my fingers. But the thing is, one of the things I do for fun and for my own creativity and design is weavings. I love to make tree weavings, and there's a few different techniques that I do, and I gotta have like fine motor control to do them. Sometimes when I'm wrapping, especially if I'm doing a shorter tree, I will tie it off to start with and tie it off to finish. As a piece to my healing, my process, I want to offer teaching my weavings. And I can do that because I already had something filmed. Thank goodness. The idea is to use it as a fundraiser also because our medical system, we incur a lot of bills often and have a little bit of insurance, but I don't have a lot and I don't know how much it's going to cost. So I'm putting it out there as you want to help me, I'd like to help you. I feel comfortable offering something like this because I was going to offer it anyways as a means for people to create their own for presents or to sell. And so it also is an income for you as well if you learn how to do it. And so I feel good about that. The exchange is important for me, so you can donate what you'd like to this fund, or if you are a person that has just been interested in buying the course, you can buy the course and help out that way. And there are so many things that people have asked me to teach them, specifically about my weavings. And so because of that, at Christmas time, with my daughter's help, we filmed 4 hours of me teaching 2 of my weaving designs because so many people have been asking. I do have weavings that have stayed together and look great, even 40 years later. I actually also entered one at an art gallery and I won first place. And then, lo and behold, I won also the People's Choice Award, which is a huge honor, and I never expected either of those things. I'm employed now by this nonprofit art gallery as their executive director, which is quite exciting and an honor. And I got to hear people come in, strangers off the street, and comment on how much they loved the weaving, and I would speak up and say, well, actually that's mine. And they wanted to know how I did it. Most of them were accomplished artisans themselves, and I was really honored that they were asking how to do it and wanting to learn how to do it. Day to day, I'm realizing how few things I can do right now with my fingers. The dog attack and the incurring costs has to do with 2 surgeries. I now have 2 titanium plates in my arm. My 2 bones in my forearm were totally crushed. I have also 8 other breaks in those bones. I got over 30 deep puncture wounds and lacerations. One of them was actually right next to my artery. They said I was so lucky. It's a fraction of an inch off, and I would have died in 2 minutes. So I am so thankful for my life and still having my arm, and the fact that I am going to be able to eventually move my fingers again. Like, I did say I could move them, but really I can only move them that much right now. And I'm working with them constantly. But it's gonna get better. I got a new cast on and I have more movement. My hand specialist doctor is great about allowing me a lot of movement for self-healing. And I have a lot of great teaching tips, as my daughter points out. She says it's just so great to watch because I just am natural at offering little tidbits of advice as I go along weaving, which is the thing I love about weaving, is because I can think deeply about things and things just roll off my tongue. Still a mess, but it will look better really soon.
Yeah, that's important to note. Is it normal that it looks kind of crazy for a while?
I keep mentioning that. It looks crazy. Everything's getting tangled up and the hoops don't go quite right, and that's all good because it's not perfect. It's not like a crocheting or knitting where you have to have every row perfect. It all comes together as an artistic creation. I start out this course showing how to do a very simple design, which I pretty recently figured out to teach people that just have basic skills. It's not technically weaving, it's more of a finger wrapping. Trees, they're extensive root systems and branches. This is the idea. You take a hoop and you put a scarf as the background instead of having to string the warp and doing the weaving itself. You have the scarf of your whatever you choose. I teach you how to wrap the trees and then how to attach them to your hoop. This one you can do in a couple hours, and it's a beautiful gift for somebody and very unique. I've done them with purple background and these beautiful blue, silver trunks, and it can be all different colors, whatever you want, or just a traditional tree color. Ta-da! Total, that probably took a couple hours. So a nice present. And then you could also make it more customized for a family tree, like I was saying, where you actually have branches of the family. There you go. I've been an artist forever. I've taught school for 30 years, all different levels. A 6-year-old could do the basic weaving very easily. 10, 11, 12-year-olds could start to learn the more advanced, probably be successful at it. It's so wonderful because young and old, you're utilizing your fine muscle coordination, which is also going to be one of my main pathways to healing, is to do this some more. Figure out my needle situation, and I'm actually going to sew, like I talked about. I'm actually going to sew this to the back of the tree like that. Gather up the warp like this. Since it is invisible, I'm just going to take it, especially because I'm doing it in this direction so you can see me, I'm going to tie it in the front. Take it around the back, tie it in the front, really good. I'm going to do a double knot, over under, pull it, and then over under again. And then the other weaving is much more advanced. Some people would be able to jump from the beginning one, get the basic idea to make the trees on the weaving. So you're learning a piece of that. And so then you could jump to the more advanced weaving. Really the design of the advanced weaving is for 20 to 70, 80, 90 years old. And I'm really getting into all this fluffy yarn for most of the weaving, so we'll see how it turns out. Use it for the tree and for the grass. I'm getting fancier in my old age. I'm getting fancier as I've done this for so many years. I did my first one in 1978. There was a woman in Sacramento, California that taught me. She had a yarn shop, so what a great thing. You know, if you have a yarn shop, you might as well teach people skills where they have to buy yarn from you. She taught me this to do the tabby weave for the hillside in browns. She taught me how to do the looped rhea at the top, but she taught me to do like a combination, just do a few looped rhea. She taught me to do the same tabby weave for the trees, so the trees were flat and just woven like, and then I just started experimenting and doing this other stuff. I'm a little bit uncomfortable asking anybody for help, for money, even though this is a difficult time, and people are asking what they can do and asking if they could send money, and I'm much more comfortable if I'm exchanging something. And so this is what my daughter has helped me figure out. She had the idea. And since we already had the course filmed, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful idea to do this. A lot of you know me, and maybe you would enjoy all my quirkiness on this film because there's a lot of funny quirkiness.
The penguin has spoken!
And they don't know about us. We're doing what we want. We're doing.
Forgot that was on.
We're doing what we want with this. You didn't go get the shit and I can't tell us nothing. They don't know about the works we do.
I don't really like cameras.
That's funny because you totally have a camera face.
I know. I don't like to record myself. I don't like myself recorded. Although now after looking at those videos the other day, I'm okay with it. Skills. Oh, I was just reading in the family history. In the 1800s, one of our ancestors was a weaver.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I imagine was a weaver like Silas Mariner, right?
Yeah, like a big loom.
Because you had to weave all
your
cloth.
fabric and everything.
Yeah, all cloth had to be woven.
Yeah. So this course is set up so that you can send it to somebody, to anybody that might want to learn how to weave, do finger weaving or do the more advanced weaving. You can give it as a gift. You can give the course as a gift. You can give the weavings, of course, as a gift, wonderful gift. And but you can give the course as a gift to somebody that, you know, might want to learn. I also wanted to mention my little Pocahontas feather here. It's not really a feather. It's a paintbrush because I'm working at an art gallery, and this is a nice way to put my hair up. But I know when I look at it, and when you look at it, it looks like I've got a little feather quill hanging out of my head. One day I was cross-country skiing and I saw two trees together, all intertwined, and so that's when I started doing that. I actually have to admit that when I first started doing weavings, I think because I lived in flat country in the city, I would go to the mountains, but I hadn't really seen all the cut hillside with all the different root systems like they are when you cut into the hill and then the tree grows down like this. I mean, of course, that's all I see now. When I started doing the roots, it was just seemed like some brilliant idea that I had. It was, and it seemed like an exaggeration of what nature was doing. And then later I'm like, that's not really exaggeration. I'm seeing it a lot. I was thinking I was showing a hidden side of nature, like the roots that go under the ground I was exposing. That's what I thought it was doing at first.
It can still be that.
Yeah, it can still be that, and it can also be that possibly I'm drawn to looking at these other systems, so that's why I see them. Or somehow I created it, or created them to be more visible in my life. What else?